All right, this is Cultivation, representing for Everest Sound. I've got a special guest all the way from India, Delhi Sultanate, aka Taru Dalmia. And we've got our Arrival Sound all the way from London town, also a part of Everest Sound. We got Bauda, part of Everest Sound as well. And I got a few questions, starting from Taru, yeah. How did you get into reggae music?
Reggae music. I used to live in Europe as a kid, where my mother was teaching. And incidentally, there was a reggae subculture, sound system and hip-hop subculture. Not mainstream at all, but people had not a sound system. People had built one scoop and then used to play in little venues, and there was a pirate radio station. So when I was 15, 16, I started going to my first dances. Oh, actually, yeah, 14, 15. And I'm like, wow, it's amazing.
Same to...
So for me, reggae music came because I was into drum and bass and jungle from a young age. That was my thing. I was buying drum and bass records from age 12, I think. Got my first turntables age 13. But as time passed, just got too fast, you know. And the thing I really liked about jungle was the little reggae intros, you know, all these lovely little bits. So that's what took me to reggae music. Then I joined a reggae band and played with them for 7, 8 years. And then, you know, I always had a sound system as well. So I used to do reggae nights, really small ones, in my local town. And it's just been like that. It's been reggae life ever since, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's with TV. I see Alpha Blondie from Ivory Coast. And in this time, in 1980, is the only guy black color. And in France, we have not too much black people in this time. So I can say, wow, he look like me. And I love music because people dance. So for me, my first artist influence is Alpha Blondie from Ivory Coast. And of course, Bob Marley. When I am in college, I listen the CD. Wow, how many times? And moment of concert, some concert in Europe, you're a child, you go, you like the vibration of concert because it's not the same when you listen cassette. I say cassette, I am old. In your room, no? You know, vinyl, cassette, respect. And wow, when you see your first concert of your first Jamaican artist, it's wow, bombo glad. That influence I have.
Yeah. And you, Tashi? Yeah, for me, it's the same, but I didn't have a cassette or something. But I had a teacher who introduced me to reggae by, obviously, Bob Marley, right? So I was like, 10, 11 at that time. And I somewhat really liked the music at that time. So as I grew, I think I was in 8th grade or something. I was given a cassette of Bob Marley. So I listened to that over and again. And I thought he was really good. But I needed more of what the music had to offer. So I was introduced to Burning Spears and all that, Roots, you know. Really like this stuff. So yeah, and the other question for you guys is, what's the speciality of reggae music that really got into you and, you know, the culture that you're into and that keeps you like going, man, every time, you know? First Taru, yeah?
Man, these are actually very questions that demand long answers, but I'm going to try and somehow condense it. Reggae music. See, we're living in a post-colonial world, and there's something not right. There are many things which are not right that you may or may not sense, you know. Reggae music is the only music which addresses these things directly, which talks about the history, you know, the broken identities that we grew up with. It's the only former colony, and so small at that, which has broadcast its music all over the world, which talks about blackness, which is rejecting the current paradigm and world order that we're living in. So this spoke to me, this was empowering, and at the same time, reggae music makes you happy, you know? Like Bob Marley says, it makes you happy, but in a kind of rebellious way. So I just gravitated towards that in a simple way, you know?
Yeah, I guess the one thing about reggae culture that I like the most is you see people from the whole world. Doesn't matter what color, what gender, where they fit. You go to a reggae dance and everyone is there. The whole world is represented. The show we did here last month, it was people from the whole world. People traveled all the way from France to come here about as friends. This is, it unifies people on such a grand scale. It doesn't matter which country you go to, you'll always find a reggae bar, you'll find a reggae party, even in like the depths of Siberia down to Bali, everywhere, there's people playing reggae, and that to me is really important, especially in these times, Anything that brings unity is, we got to promote it, we got to fight for it, we got to make sure that it grows, That's what I think.
Yeah. Reggae music was born it's very new music, no? But when hippie is coming in Nepal in 60s, 70s, they come with so many bullshit. But one thing good is with rock and reggae music. And in Nepal, I don't know, but I go another country in Asia, it's like only Bob Marley. If you come in Nepal, you go in Tamil, wow, you can listen to so many different reggae, so Jamaica, Europe, Africa. We have this influence of hippie. And 40, 50 years after hippie movement, stay here. And that was the first sound system. So it's also a new movement for Nepali people. And I am very happy because another country listen only Bob Marley, and reggae music is not only Bob Marley. They are very different style of music all around the world. We are in Nepal, we have sound system reggae. Who sings that? It's not only trekking. So reggae is all around the world since few years, and let's see what happens after, but on the long way, I hope.
I'll try to cut it short. So the third question is, what's a reggae sound system culture for those people who don't know? As you know, Taru and Arrival, that we're just starting to grow in South Asia. And you're one of the few ones who are pushing it in India. And we're the only one in Nepal, right? So I would like you to tell the viewers that what's a reggae sound system culture in a really easy way, and how did you got into the sound system culture?
All right, so I've been in the music industry for the last 10 years, and I got kind of frustrated because you're always playing in these club systems which are often not very good. Sound is not the number one priority, or you're playing at your music festivals. But to experience the true power of reggae music, you have to build a sound system like you see behind us, a stack of speakers that physically impacts you and affects everyone together, and you can vibrate people. And the music is produced in this way. And often you notice when you listen to reggae tracks on a powerful sound system, sometimes there's this militant subtext to the music that doesn't come out when you listen to it on headphones. It's like Dr. Das says, it's like the sound of the music itself is kind of there to break down the system, And what it allowed us to do is to organize independent sessions, because there are larger questions attached to this. What's the social function of music in society? And should that only exist in a club? Is that the best place? Can there be other avenues where you can give a strength to another kind of movement? So the sound system allows us that kind of freedom. We as artists own our own means of producing shows. So we can organize our own dances, bring people together, collaborate with people. We are free from the constraints of the industry, Scene. Yeah, okay. I think there was one more thing I wanted to say. If it comes to me, I'll grab the mic again.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to say right now. No, I do. The thing about sound system for me is that it moves your body. That it's something that doesn't happen often in normal life. Speakers have got smaller and smaller and smaller, and now you just can't feel the bass anymore. Even when you go to big festivals, there's sound limitations in the UK. It's a big problem. You just can't feel it. And I remember when I was young, that feeling, of having the bass just vibrate you. And a lot of people call it healing. A reggae sound system session is like healing. And I don't know what's going on, but I think it's true, and you wobble all your insides up, you feel better. And, it's a positive music that's flowing through you and actually physically changing your organs. So
it's healing, but on one level it's also a war. It's also a musical war. And sound system gives us a certain power. It's about, there's a scholar called Julian Henriquez who talks a lot about sound system. And on one level, it's also about sonic dominance. We can take over areas with sound. We're taking over bodies with sound,
Yeah. In India and in Nepal, we live in street. All happen in street. Music also, since before sound system. So what we do is more amplification of music on the street and people dance. But we not do something new. We just put reggae music with more vibration. And we have to continue. And it's like that. He was born in Jamaica, no? Like some time ago. So in culture, we have already this one, live in street, music from street. And it's very good and easy to have people walk, stop, dance, and living in 10 minutes. Because we give happy. If you listen to music, you forget your problem. You know? So it's very important to continue to build some sound system all around the world, in India, in Nepal, and how many people we give happy just with music. That is the power and magic of the sound system culture. Any place around the world, in Africa, in Jamaica, in South America, you put music, people dance. Music is life. That I like with sound system. And of course, when we have big bass, wow, the vibration is coming inside your body, you like fly. That's good. That's like very hard for whole human, no? This vibration. We just make ampli, and the rest is you. No? So let's see for sound system, more and more and more in street. Fire.
The final question is, how is it connecting people, the sound system culture, and where do you see sound system culture in South Asia, especially where we are right now, subcontinent, right?
See, it can go in many different directions and depends on who has the sound system and what their intention is. And sometimes there are also problematic trends in sound system, you know, like for instance in the UK, a lot of the times the people who originated it are being marginalized from it. And sometimes you find that the black people who started the sound system thing are being marginalized within their own craft. You know, so where can it go? I think it's very important in India and in Nepal or wherever we go that we proceed with a lot of awareness about what's happening in our society and try and connect it. Because it's also very easy to go into a wishy-washy, hippie, kind of one love, escapist zone that's not enough connected to what's really happening and what the issues that people are going through. And sound system, always, if you look at the roots and if you look at Jamaica, people very concretely talk about what's happening. They're naming politicians, they're talking about issues, you know, it's very concrete and specific. So I think what my wish is that it goes into the right hands, you know, that it connects to the right kind of struggles, it connects to the right kind of artists, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, so if we find that specificity to our regions and our concerns and make links, because we as former colonies, we need to learn from each other. There's a lot we can learn from each other. You know, like our focus is always Europe, is always UK. Things are always imported from there, but it's very important for us to have more direct connections with Africa, more direct connections with Jamaica, and learn from each other, you know?
Yeah, I think you said that perfectly. I don't think I've got anything more to add to that, you know. And, you know, the only thing about sound system for me and what I hope for the culture is it continues to bring people together, you know, with truths and rights and, like you said, man.
Peace, love, knowledge, and understanding, you know?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, no more. Huh? You say whole. It's like, I travel more and more around the world, and I see every place sound system, anytime, out, inside, but every time. So we are connected already, and we can make the plate and music. This is what connect between together, music. So you hear, no? Music. So music can connect sound system all around the world. So please come in Asia, come in India, come in Nepal. Most welcome. So many, not so many, but maybe 5 sound system already coming in Nepal to play. It's possible. You want to travel, you don't think they have sound system in Asia, in India, in Nepal. So we are here. We're waiting for you. This is the connecting.
All right. I would like to say thank you to everyone here right now. And just before you go, I mean, Taru, you just listened and sound checked on EVEREST Sound. I want you to say something on EVEREST Sound, yeah, man?
I'm so happy and so kicked. It's just a craft. Somebody put sweat and time and energy and effort into putting these speakers together, and just to feel the impact of it. I'm so happy, you know?
Thank you. Thank you to everyone here. Arrival Sound, Taru, Buddha.